Welcome back, man. I don't know about y'all, but look, man, it's been a day. It has been a day. I woke up feeling some type of way. I don't know about you, but I felt confident initially this morning. But we'll get into it here in just a minute, man. Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.
Hey. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. This is your Couch Rider Raven saying, man, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack the bell so you know when it's going down so you can be depressed just like us today just a little bit. Let me tell y'all something, man. I woke up, I felt good. We got Max Crosby. I'm feeling like we're one of the elite teams in the league. Feeling solid. And then I was like, you know what? All we gotta do is, re-sign a couple people and we good to go. As long as we got Likely, we good. Then I got bad news about Likely. I was like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe, or actually, it was like backwards. We got bad news about Lindy, and of course, Lindy goes over to the Raiders, and I was like, you know what? That's okay because that's going to leave us opportunity to negotiate with Likely and see if we can get it. What you mean he gone? What you mean he going to the Giants? Dang you, Harbaugh! Knock it off. So I was like, you know what? Okay. We still got pieces. I'm gonna just look and see what we need here. And I'm like looking at our depth chart and seeing, we got one tight end. And I'm like, okay, well, we can sign back Kolar. Yeah, totally right. This is a thing. It's gonna happen. I'm excited. And then Kolar goes and signs with the Chargers. I'm like, okay, all right. All right, no big. We're just gonna write these little needs down that we need. We got some needs, and one of those needs, it might be we need to pick up another safety or whatever because we're not sure where or if our Darius Washington might not be. Oh crap! Now where's our Darius Washington going? Oh, he's a Giant. Okay. All right, so I'm having some problems here. Like, all right, so what else is happening today? Like, okay, you know what? It's fine. It's cool. We'll be able to flip field position. It's not a big thing because we got a really good punt. What the heck you mean? Jordan Styles leaving to the Giants? I can't deal with this right now. Then they tell me that I'm like, okay, well, at least got a three-headed monster running back show. It's gonna be fantastic. We got Derrick Henry, we got Justice Hill, and then I'm sitting here scrolling through my Twitter. It's still called Twitter. I don't care what they say. Elon can come from me. Kate Mitchell is the free agent. I can't today. I can't. And then of course we signed back John Simpson, and I go look over his PFF grades, and I say, okay, you know what, John Simpson's an upgrade. But then they show the PFF grades of rated guards, and he's one above the garbage players that we have on our team. I cannot. I can't. Let's see who in the room today, man. Lisa says Lindy going to Vegas. To me, it's a slap in the face. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. We ain't paying $27 million per year. $27 million? No, I don't think so. That's not happening. What's up, man? How you doing? What's good with it? So the stout one really surprised me. I think it surprised me as well. I'm like, what happened there? But we're not going to go out. We're not going to go out here and pay all this money. All the signings today, not including the last one, which is our Darius, that was $52.5 million that we just did not have on our cap. And I said, I wish those guys a lot of luck. I wish them the best. What's up, man? What's up, Big Reg? We didn't have the money. We just didn't have it. With the signing right now, we sitting here like negative 12 million because Max Crosby's contract hasn't done the magical spot track formula thing that Eric DeCosta had planned on doing, because they probably still working on the signing extension of one Lamar Jackson. That could be a problem because we need the cap space. We do. I know they're working on it, and we know it's coming, but it's not here right now. And so I'm here not only to tell you, like, hey, we saved some money by not signing all these players back. And yes, that creates a significant amount of holes, but to tell you, hang on, because now that we have got the ridiculous move that was completely not script for the Ravens this year, we can get back down to responsible cap management business, which is going to end up causing the Ravens to make moves in the next wave of free agency. The second or third wave of free agency is where you're going to get those bargain deals where you're not going to end up paying 16 plus million per year for a daggone offensive lineman, to where you're not going to end up paying buku money that we don't have for players that might perform just as good as these second wave players. Anyway, so there's another one. Lisa says, if Pat Ricard leaves, I will absolutely go off. The thing is John Harbaugh is signing our roster. He is finding ways to get our guys. He's got our punter. He got our Darius Washington. He got Likely. Harbaugh, we knew this. We knew he was coming for us. The second he got fired, we knew he was going after Likely. He's coming after a few other players. He wants to rebuild with the system that people know his system. And I don't blame him. I'm kind of pissed, because I'm like, yo, this is, these are our guys. These are guys that should be Ravens. And so now we got significant needs that we got to patch up, and we can't do it because we don't have a first round pick right now. That's not every single pick in the draft. We didn't give up every single pick in the draft. We just gave up the most important one for the next year and the year after. So we have to treat our second round as if it is our first round and see what is available amongst that. The Greg says, not script and pointless. Not script and pointless. So I think Pat leaving, Lisa. I think you are correct. Anyway, so before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to Cam Rue. He has he's got a television show, a television series that he is in, and it's called City of Honor, and it's on Amazon. So if you want to support your boy Cam Rue, and it don't take much, I rented it for like $2.99. Jump on Amazon, City of Honor. Episode 1 is out right now. Episode 2 is coming out on the 28th of March. That's where he's been, taking acting classes, doing all those different things. But Cam Rue he's on there, and you gotta be patient. He's on the show, and it's good to see him. And it looks like he's a pretty good bad guy. So I'm not going to do any spoilers or like that, but just know it's a pretty decent television show. And I think, sure, you're gonna have your thoughts, but at the same time, seeing him on television and doing his thing, living his dream, yeah, I'm glad to support him. Hopefully you're there to support him as well. All right, here we go. Big Red says the trade for Max was absolutely pointless. Jesse Minter got 10 sacks in half a year. They shouldn't let him work and went after O-line, or should have let him work and go after O-line. Well, I agree. I think that Oweh should have came back here, and that's the one we should have signed, and for the guy that could have got him for cheap, and Minter could have got him to work. Well, here's the thing. Oweh's 10 sacks got him $25 million at the gate. Now, if you compare Oweh to Max, there's a significant talent level difference overall. We're talking about ability to stop the run and consistent go get it every single down. This guy don't take plays off. Did I want Oweh here? I did. I did want Oweh here. But he's across the river. He's across the Beltway for those of y'all want to see him. He's with the Washington Commanders. Justin, what's good, man? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, smack the bell. He says, let them Giants enjoy that 8-9 record. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell what these records are going to be now because when you're in the NFC East, Philly is a dog. Washington could return to being that dog as long as Jaden comes back healthy. Dallas is you never know what Dallas is going to be. Dallas could be great or Dallas could be absolutely terrible. And it could be all in the same season, so you're not really sure. And then there's the Giants who've always been cheeks, but they have John Harbaugh. Now, what does that mean? That means John Harbaugh is going to install his systems. He's going to get his nepotism friends to come back over there and help build what he built here in Baltimore. And whether we like it or not, part of that, there has been success in the John Harbaugh tree that he has built. As you can see, part of that tree just won a Super Bowl. I know we don't want to admit that, but he's part of the Harbaugh tree. Which Harbaugh? Both. They kind of made a Harbaugh baby. That sounds terrible. Whatever. Anyway, Lisa says, what will I do if my favorite Ravens leave? Well, Lisa, I hope you stick around. I hope your loyalty is there. Pat Ricard is highly coveted by a few teams with great running backs right now. The Raiders have Ashton Jeanty, and I cannot imagine how nasty that combination is going to be if they pick up Ricard to lead Jeanty along the way. And then let's say they go after Jordan Tyson in the first round of draft, along with their projected number 1 pick, the Illinois quarterback. This could be bad, or at least could be really good for the Raiders. They got, and they're spending money like crazy. So they got, I want to say Nakobe Dean. I want to say they picked up the Jacksonville Jaguars free agent, their linebacker. I mean, they are building a monster over there. So kudos to the Raiders and all they're doing there. We're kind of losing things out of the house. Big Red says, I was saying let Jesse work with what we have. Oh, I agree. I do agree with that, but we got Max. So I'm hoping that he makes Max a 20-sack guy. That would be fantastic to see if he does that with him versus Owe. I'm hoping they bring back Ojabo, though, because Ojabo here with Mentor could actually be something special. Yeah, you said Pat can go. I mean, depending on the system, depending on how we're using Henry, you got to wonder, like, is it going to be single back? Are we going to use the fullback as much? We had those questions about it when Tom Monken got here. Like, how much of the fullback will be used? We knew that the passing the ball to the fullback, we knew that was going to stop. We knew that. But now with a new quarterback, a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator, you got to wonder if Pat Ricard is set up for this system. That's the big old question right there. Granted, I loved when Pat Ricard was here because he was clearing lanes for Derrick Henry, but let's just call a spade. Like, if Mentor don't want him here, he ain't extending the offer. He's not going to tell EDC to go through the trouble. And also depending on how much a fullback is going to cost right now. Because I know there was one that recently got signed and it's top of the market money. Ricard is probably looking for that same exact dollar. Sometimes you sit the name of Camru's show is City of Honor. City of Honor. So one episode is out right now. Episode 2, 28 March. But it's a pretty good show. It's lower production, but at the same time, it's decent. And Camru, like I said, just be patient. He's in the show. Just be patient. Just know it's coming. Okay. All right. So what was I saying? Oh, but yeah, people going to chase the dollars right now because the dollars are out there. There's teams that can spend like crazy. This morning, the Raiders had $110 million in cap space and were going absolutely bonkers, like they were in Target and they went in there for toothpaste and then came out with the entire roster just about filled because of that. Lisa says, I know I'll be crying my eyes out. Yes, if he leaves. All right. So when you think about it, all the positions that we are missing, or that we're going to need some significant help with. Well, of course, before I started thinking about that, I was like looking at like 3 or 4 different guys that we could just plug a few holes with. But it looks like we got a few more that we need to get out the way, or we need to fill. And I don't know if we fill that with bargain type players like David Njoku. And I'm not saying, I'm hoping he like pops up in the second wave of free agency to where we get him for cheap. But we need a tight end for sure. We definitely need some offensive linemen. So tight end, offensive lineman. I would like a replacement for Roquan Smith. So I put down a middle linebacker. We definitely need a third safety. We're definitely going to need a punter. And looks like we got 4 wide receivers. So on the back end, we would say we need a wide receiver. We need Marlowe's replacement. So we corner. So, I mean, just basically writing down the needs right now, folks. Tight end, outside linebacker, middle linebacker, safety, punter, wide receiver, cornerback. Top of the list for me is an O-lineman. And I want to say there was an O-lineman that I looked at, and his name was Pregnon. I keep hearing Pregnon's name because he's kind of a mauler. And I wouldn't mind getting a guy like that, but of course we need a center too. So we have to go to go ahead and get one of the best centers in the class, and Connor Lew. But when it comes to other positions, I took some looks, and one of those was at middle linebacker. Like I said, I was looking at a replacement for Roquan, and this is a middle linebacker, Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas, and he's 6'2", 238 pounds. He's got athletic jumping ability. He's good spatial awareness. I'm talking about a decent pursuit guy, sideline to sideline. Don't you miss hearing those words when it comes to Ravens linebackers? A guy who can go sideline to sideline. He's a fun pass rusher. He's got great change of direction. His sophomore year, this kid had 113 tackles and 8 sacks. And he doesn't get, sometimes he gets caught in the trash a little bit. And when it comes to the run stop, that could be a problem. But if he's got a good support cast, and depending on how the scheme's set up and how you're moving your defensive tackles along, that could help, especially when we hopefully have Matabike coming back. That could be our thing there. Like, hey, you know what? We got power picks on the line. This allows this middle linebacker to play a little bit more free, a little roam a little bit. He would be a fun pickup. Of course, we're going to need depth for the edge rushers, and so I'll get into that in a minute. But let's pay some bills here to see what you guys are talking about. Matthew, thanks for joining the show, man. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe, smack the bell. He says, we steady moving forward on defense, shaking my head. That's why Lamar won't sign a contract with us. We're spending all the money on everything except for the offensive line and a real receiving weapon. Now, I do agree that maybe we should have went something on the offense, but what's out there, Now, if the Vikings would have took 2 first-round picks for Justin Jefferson, I'm pretty sure that we probably been like, okay, let's do that. We wanted to secure the edge. We didn't know exactly what we'd be able to pull back over here, but it is what it is. I'm excited about the player that we got, and I think Lamar Jackson is excited about it as well because he was like, boom, twice. He got the SpongeBob SquarePants smile going on. It's about Max Crosby. So to have a good teammate like him supporting him, I think it's great. I think Lamar might be happy about it. So we got to see the positive with it and not necessarily the negative. Not that we have 8 different holes to fill on our team right now, but it's okay. It's great. It's fine. All right. As Drake says, I still say we should get a get a guard in the draft. Oh, absolutely. I think straight out the gate, Connor Lew or Pregnon should be one of those guys. So Pregnon was 6'4", 314 pounds, out of Oregon. He's got 11-inch hands. He's got 33.6 inch arms. I mean, just crazy. So that's his reach. And he's got a 35-inch vertical. Man, it's athletic at his best right there. He's a powerful, dominant striker he's got insane upper body strength. Now, of course, what I want to see, I've always wanted to see, I said this with Fele, I said this with all the other offensive linemen, I also said it about tall guys, tall athletes in general. I want to see what your feet look like. I want to see what your hips look like. If you got tight hips and you got bad feet, I don't need another Daniel Fele on this team. So he's got, like I said, insane body strength or upper body strength. He's got a good anchor. So that means, okay, maybe once he gets in position, he's able to anchor, but I'm hoping he's able to use those feet to get in position. Your hands got to go before your feet. And I think the thing about Fele is that his arms were reaching outward outside of his frame, which caused penalties, also which caused like full on just giving up the sack because his feet aren't where they're supposed to be. Solid athleticism is what they say about Emmanuel Pregnon. If we can't get Emmanuel Pregnon, I'll have to go look at some different players and get back to y'all on that. Let's read some of these here. Matthew says EDC is worthless. I think whether he acts or doesn't act, there are haters on EDC. Now, the thing about we mentioned a couple weeks ago is I said I wanted EDC to go reckless, to do something irresponsible. And here we are. He gave us the irresponsible option that kind of puts us in a different, according to Vegas, into better odds to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl because we're tied with the Bills now. Beforehand, the Bills were the top team. Now we are tied with the Bills as far as the odds go in Vegas. And, Vegas ain't on the team. Vegas ain't developing these players. Vegas ain't, doing the nutrition and things like that. But Vegas is giving us a decent chance to make the Super Bowl, better than last year's. And that is because we signed a significant player, or we traded for a significant player. Was he worth 2-1s? No. But when you get into a battle with the Dallas Cowboys, then you're going to have a problem when it comes to bidding because they're reckless. They are extremely reckless. They remind you of the irresponsible teenager who is at a car dealership. They're going to go way overboard of what they were supposed to be paying. That's the Dallas Cowboys. And so, of course, if you're in a bidding war with them, you practice a little temporary insanity and hope that, I wake up and don't regret this decision. Hopefully we don't regret this decision. All right. Dre saying bring Alohi Gilman back. I like that option. I think we don't really have a choice now. I think we do need to bring him back because we do need that third system. We need somebody who's familiar with our system, and this allows Hamilton to play free, and it allows Malachi Starks to grow. It says we need center, left guard, right guard, and backup tackle. Exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying. It's like as I went through the list, right guard was missing, left guard was missing. So about Emory Jones, I think we were good as a starter there. Then you got Simpson. So, John Simpson, we just signed today, used to be with us. He was there for the AFC Championship loss that we had to the Chiefs a couple of years ago. Then he went over to the Jets, signed a deal with them. I think he went to the Patriots after that. But you know what? He's back. Or did he go to the Patriots? I can't remember. But he's with us now. And hopefully he can put some of that same production together that he had previously so that we can be okay and not have to worry about Lamar having to be spectacular in order to get the ball down the field. Backup tackle, yes, I still think we need to go after a replacement for Stanley. I'm not saying replace him now, but I am saying we need to start looking towards the future. That guy was drafted a year before Lamar. Like, come on, man, it's time. So let's let Marlowe get another year in a new system. Same for Rowe. Go away.
Nothing around. I'm just messing around. In a Chiefs jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said something about losing the Chiefs.
All right. Okay, so it says let Marlowe get another year in a new system for same for Rowe. The thing is what are we looking at with Marlowe? What is going on? Sorry, I'm having a lot of people down here right now. Sorry, y'all. It's getting a little rowdy down here for no damn reason. Marlowe with another year with the Ravens in the same system. I get kind of frustrated because I know this dude's got a significant amount of talent. The brain is up there, but the body's still catching up. We don't want him turning into another Brandon Carter where he's getting roasted all over the place. Probably decent in his own, but if we put him in a man system as we try to blitz, he's going to be able to cover those faster receivers down the field. I don't know. It's driving me crazy. All right, so let's go. Kenny says, "What's up?" I say, "What's up with it, man?" And yeah, we got another problem. Slow Quan. The Slow Quan Smith contract. Yes. And it's like, do we take our lickings and release this guy into the wild? Let him go be a Giant as well? Because Roquan can't cover. He can't cover. I've been saying this for the last 2 years, is that the tight ends and slot wide receivers are eating this guy alive. I'm not expecting him to be a Fred Warner, but I am expecting him to be able to decently cover the corners in this league, or it was not the corners, but to cover the wide receivers and the tight ends in this league decently, at least until they can get the help in exchange over. All right, so Lisa says Tony's defense would be rather scary. Okay, hey, give me just a second. All right. So what's up, Kenny? What's going on, man? Glad to have you here. I'm wondering how you feeling about your signing, because you ended up getting Michael Pittman, and I think that was a pretty decent pickup to add to DK Metcalf. Adds the problem to the North Force, but I ain't too worried about it, bro. All right, Lisa says we should have kept the 14th pick. Look, it is what it is. We got to move forward, girl. All right, D says, do some fans not know that the Ravens rarely make splashes on day one of free agency? And if they do, it's one big move on that day. What happened, which would happen with Crosby? Yeah, so we did make the move. We made the move, but now we've got to sit back. We got to sit tight. Ravens, you got to be practicing patience right now. DeCosta is going to help fill the roster. He sees all these needs. Every year leading up to the draft, Eric DeCosta manages to fill holes. He fills all of the holes, whether it's with a mediocre player or a decent player. He fills it to where he can go. He feels confident being able to go after the best player available during the draft. We're going to have to sit tight. Y'all got to buckle in. Y'all got to practice a little bit of patience. Don't jump ship on this. Don't become Giants. Don't become Chargers. Wherever the heck else the Ravens get sent, the Jets, whatever. Sit tight. He's got a plan. Last year, when we looked at our roster, when the NFL saw our roster before the season started, you could see that we were in the best position to be competitive. We'll say, they had us like, hey, you're going to win the Super Bowl or whatever. The odds were there, which meant that Eric DeCosta built us a winner. Injuries happen. A terrible defensive coordinator and Zach Orr happened. These things were not on Eric DeCosta. They were on John Harbaugh and his nepotism. We saw that. I'm not sure what happened with the offensive coordinator, but I'm not sure what's going on upstairs either. But yeah, it's bad for business either way. Excuse me just a second. Yeah. So anyway, we saw the mistakes from a coaching standpoint, but from a roster personnel standpoint, Eric DeCosta gave us everything we needed to be successful. Close that door, please. Okay, so let's see here. Matthew says, I feel like our defense is going to be top notch because of new coaches. We should have spent our draft and money on defense. On offense, excuse me, not defense. Can't read today. So, yeah, as far as spending the money on offense, I agree to an extent, but I do know that we did need some pieces. As far as the D-line, yes. I mean, Calvin Noy was not going to come back with us. It wasn't going to happen. We didn't have Oweh locked up. Nobody was going to know that he was going to get $25 million a year. Is what it is. So I'd rather have Max Crosby and you know what, and say, hey, we'll manage these decisions as we go along. And it's tough, but that's not our job to manage. It's not our job to do this cap flexibility. This is Eric DeCosta's time of the year. This is where he shines. Let him do his work. We got to trust. Yeah, Cameron behaves so he needs to. They all crazy back there. So the D says, I want Brock Hoffman. He plays both center and guard with some right tackle flexibility. Never a starter with Dallas, but will bring some versatility. I am curious about this Brock Hoffman. I'll go do some research on it, see if I can go look at some preseason tape on Brock Hoffman, formerly of Dallas, looks like. And it says nobody on that defense looked besides Cam and Travis Jones. Now, of course, we get Matt BK back. I wouldn't mind having what was his name? It's the big African dude. I know it sounds racist as heck, but yeah, it was a big African dude. It was Okoye. He was pretty good against the run. Now we had to get him back, get Brandon Irvin back, Matt BK, Trav Jones, and then having Max over there, Green coming off the edge. We okay. We okay in that area. So I know the feeling. My family was always around when I'm streaming. Right? You see what's going on? It was like full on chaos in the last 10 minutes. Like we're just yelling at everybody, close the door. At least says, hey, Kenny, you don't have to have Mike Tomlin to deal with anymore. I think that when it comes to Mike Tomlin and McCarthy, there's two different types of coaching style there. And Mike is more of a player's guy. I'm not sure how McCarthy is. And it's like, do you want Aaron Rodgers back? I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I think there's more opportunities there when you got a guy from Ohio State who got his team to the national championship, who has that starting ability and could look special, especially with DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman there helping him along the way. And I think they still got Washington too. So the weapons are there for the Steelers. And they just need a quarterback to come in here and not mess this thing up. It's like a brand new Cadillac. Don't sit here and screw up the white wall by riding too close to the curves like that, man. Just keep this thing in the middle of the road. You good to go. Yeah, I need to lock the door, bro. Lock the door, throw away the key, tell them all go away. Go purchase me a studio somewhere else downtown. So we've been busy. Absolutely. You didn't fill the holes in the offensive line. We ain't, free agency has been open. It's been open a day, bro. And everybody is overspending. You got to look at it like what we don't have. He has got to, one, focus on the main priority right now. The main thing is the main thing, and that is getting Lamar Jackson to get this extension, because that creates $44 million of cap space if they do this. If they don't, then we're sitting at negative $12 million. And then whatever John Simpson's deal, that kind of screwed things up too. So when you're looking at this, until they work the cap magic and put that number back down to 7-something, the Ravens are kind of screwed. Our hands are tied. There's not much we can do right now until Lamar signs the extension. So not last year, the year before. No, we were just fine last year. I'm telling you, the freaking, other than Fede, I'll give you that. Fede was a Harbaugh move, though. I think that was a Harbaugh move. Sabotage himself. Say Rico Dowdle too. And yeah, I mean, Rico, I know somebody else that I know a Denver Broncos fan, formerly Baltimore Ravens fan, was there for the Ravens. He was there, and this Denver Broncos fan wanted Rico, so but he didn't get it. He was pissed. A-Rod not coming back. He officially retired, so you are moving forward. That is congratulations to you that you no longer have to deal with that headache. And I'm glad that his last pass was that. I'm sorry. I just don't like A-Ron. I just don't think he has I don't think he's not a quality character type guy. And he's just not one that you want to put your kids in front of the reporters in front of. So it's just kind of like, I like the guy. Sorry. Got a lot of respect for the Steelers, though. That's why you're in the room. I respect the Steelers. So they got a lot of time to retool. We got plenty of time to retool. All right. So anyway, let me go into a couple of folks before I leave, because I'm going to wrap the show up real quick, because we got terrorists running all over the house looking to just cause noise for no daggone reason. And for that, let me pause for a second. All right. So, like I said, think about it. Second round, third round, we're not sure where these guys are going to fall. It could be a guy that has second round value sliding back to the third round, fourth round. So I'm going to give you a couple of folks that I think could be potentially there when we select at 46. So Brandon Cease, he's 6 feet, comes out of South Carolina. He's only 20 years old. He's got speed. He's versatile, good reaction time. He's a good press corner, solid on the outside. He plays smooth, relaxed. You look at the tape and you're like, man, this dude he's just chill. He's just making things happen with ease. He's just smooth moving. Has the ability to play inside. At 6 feet, of course, you think they would probably be more of an inside versus an outside guy, but you never know with it because it's like 6 to 6'2" is versatile. They could be definitely be on the outside as far as you're 6'1", 6'2", but you're at 6 feet. Depending on your ability, more likely you're going to be on the inside. It's like 5'11", 5'10", up to 6 feet. Usually is a inside guy. Anyway, so he transferred from North Carolina State. He's got good burst and he could be dominant and aggressive on the attack against the run. So some people say this dude had the tendency to be a strong safety. I don't know. Go look at the tape. Let me know what you think about him. The next one, I didn't talk about this one. Jacob Rodriguez. This is a linebacker out of Texas Tech. If I didn't mention before, that was a corner for sure, but I think you guys know what I was talking about. Anyway, so imagine a young Marlon Humphrey, and a Fred Warner combined. Y'all like, dude, that sounds like the ultimate Build-A-Bear. This is a really good comp when I'm talking about, because he's punching balls out constantly. He's always looking to cause the fumble, but he has the ability to cover wide receivers. This is what I imagine the ideal situation is for a transition from Roquan Smith. Jacob Rodriguez out of Texas Tech is 6'1", 237 pounds. He's looking to punch the ball out. He tackles in open space. He's fast. He's got a nose for the ball. It just seems like his awareness is off the charts. He had 127 tackles one year and 128 next as a starter. He's a former quarterback, just athlete, like out this world. Close that door. All right. Plays good he actually played running back in college. He's a former quarterback in high school. He's just got athleticism all over the place. And this is kind of weird, but you know what? I'm former Air Force, so I don't know if y'all see my little retirement gift over him and stuff. By the way, y'all see that thing right there? Yeah, right there. Yeah, that is my shadow box from the Air Force. So his wife is she's a current Black Hawk pilot. Has nothing to do with the stats. Has nothing to do with what he can do in the field. I was just like, oh, this is good information. He's got solid coverage zone skills or zone coverage skills. And then he's got 7 forced fumbles, which ties an NCAA record. Somebody, please get on the phone when pick 46 comes up. If Jacob Rodriguez is there, let's get him. We'll be excited about a guy like that. All right, here's one that you probably heard plenty about. He is 5'9", 173 pounds. I'm thinking life after Marlowe because we need somebody for the slot. D'Angelo Pons out of Indiana. He's the kind of guy you want to put a restraining order on. At least that's what I had written down. I was like, okay, because of the gameplay. The gameplay was off the charts. He's small, but he packs a punch. He's super physical, slot ready, jumps everything. I mean, he is not scared to go inside, not scared to hit. I mean, he is, but the bad side after watching a few of his games, I'm like, this guy's handsy. Like I told you, this is a handsy. Call the cops on this dude. Put a restraining on because he is that physical, and you don't know exactly how much the refs are going to tolerate when it comes to a physical player like that. So D'Angelo Pons, I would love to see him in a Ravens uniform. Of course, he's going to need to figure out how to shadow more and not be as physical to where the cops are called, because cops are definitely coming, or the zebras are definitely throwing with this guy. Let's see. I know we're looking for tight end. So Oscar Delp, tight end out of Georgia. He's got some blocking ability, and that's what we need because we just lost Cola to the Chargers because he just got the highest blocking tight end pay in the league right now. I think it's like 8.8 a year is what he's getting. So just something to think about there. If we're looking at a tight end, Oscar Delp out of Georgia. Next, I needed to go and look at another guy, Jacoby Lane, wide receiver, USC. I know we're sitting here looking at 4 wide receivers on the roster right now. And those 4 wide receivers, of course, are Rashad. Looking at Zay. Looking at Walker. You know what? The Giants stole another guy from us. They stole Tyler Wallace. I can't believe anyway. Wester. LaJohntay Wester, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Walker. So we got 4 guys. Is wide receiver necessarily a need? If people keep dissing Rashad and saying he doesn't have the ability to bounce back, then I'd say yes. If he doesn't have the type of year that we're looking to have for him to have, we can't rub the crystal ball and go into the future. So I guess if this guy's on the clock, because he's 6'4", 200 pounds, there's a possibility that we could take a guy. Anyway, let's see what Big Reg has to say about Rodriguez. He said his tape and numbers don't match. Don't think he's going to be as good as people think. I don't know, man. I see a guy who wants to take chances. And I think that's what Baltimore needs right now. A guy who's going to take chances and punch the ball out. Marlowe been playing this safe since maybe the 3rd year. After that, he stopped punching the ball out. We're like, where's all the fumbles we're looking for? Because he probably got told, like, hey, practice a little bit more discipline. Wrap up. We'd rather have you wrap up than have Juju stiff arm you to the ground because you could not punch the ball out and get to the end zone. So he was practicing more of that discipline. We need chance takers. I want more dangerous, reckless, football. Okay, Lisa says Jesse Minter won't tolerate the drama in the locker room, Jermaine. What type of drama are you talking about? Who got drama in the locker room? Who finna fight? I don't know. Who finna go at? Because I'm pretty sure whoever got issues, there's leaders on that team that's going to take care of business. First of all, we already know that Roquan dressed like he finna whoop everybody at the cookout. Every single time he come on Sunday, he looked like he just ready to fight at the cookout. Max is a leader. So we're getting a significant defensive player, but we're also getting a great leader who leads by example. So between them and Kyle, who, he don't play no games. Kyle is all about business. He'll get he'll get that defense together. So the defensive side of the ball is looking pretty well. Offensive side of the ball, of course, you're going to have divas when it comes to your wide receivers, so maybe they're not as big leaders as they could be. Zay has a voice in that locker room, and so does managers. And then, of course, Lamar. So I think we have leaders on both sides of the ball that can take care of business. Humphrey, even though he's annoying, he still has the ability to lead. Anyway, back to Jacoby. If there's an opportunity to get this wide receiver, I think it's pretty special. Like, while the wide receiver is going off in the first round and everybody's crazy about Malachi, okay, cool. Look at Jacoby Lane. 6'4", 200 pounds, 40-inch vertical, 4.8 40. You 6'4", running 4.8 40. Special. However, there's a guy who did run a pretty fast 40, and he was sitting about that height, and it didn't turn out to be much, and I was a huge fan. I want y'all to see this. That is not likely. My historians, Miles Boykin, y'all. I was a huge fan of Miles, and I wanted him to be something special. At pick number 129 of that draft, it didn't turn out well because he just didn't have the aggressiveness. Jacoby, though. Jacoby has the aggressiveness. He scored more TDs than Lemon in the last 2 seasons. His specialty is corner routes. He's good on back shuttle fades, contested catches. The boy climbs the ladder. He's kind of a little tough on the release on the line. That's what kind of bothers me. I'm like, do we get another Miles Boykin again? Guys who can't release off the line. I'm like, you that big, you should be able to stiff arm somebody and usher them out of your way as you go about business. So he positions his body well for the catch. I saw him on whip routes. He's just able to get himself in position the right way. He's fluid. He's kind of a skinny Jaden Higgins. And concentration catches are his thing. I am big on players with hands. I mean, it just is what it is. When it comes with the position, can you catch the ball? Concentration catches are his thing. It says Dre says the Zay and Bates slander is so unnecessary. So yeah, and the thing is I like Zay. I like Zay. Zay has got a ton of talent. When it comes to ball security, yes, of course, yes, we want to teach that. I'm hoping that that's one of the things Mentor comes out the gate with, starts like making them carry the ball to the lunch facility and punching the ball out wherever they're at, having them carry the ball with them and helping them recognize that ball security is extremely important and making the penalty for dropping the ball a team type penalty to where they all get in trouble because they all need to remind each other of the importance of ball security. But with Bates not getting targeted. That was the problem. He just wasn't getting targeted. And that was the year before it started to be a big issue. Then Bate goes through and tears it up, gets a contract. Bate has the ability, high ceiling, to be, and y'all probably ain't gonna like it when I say this, and I've said it before, he has the talent level of a Justin Jefferson. And y'all can be like, man, that's reaching. That's crazy. No, that's the ceiling we're talking about. But the floor is like non-existent. Ghost Miles Boykin. So there's two different levels or two different worlds when it comes to Bateman. You're either going to see him light it up or he might disappear a few games. And that's not necessarily his fault. Some of that's on Lamar. And I know a lot of y'all like to protect Lamar. We protect Lamar like crazy. When things go right, when QBs get the credit for the wins, it's fantastic. Everybody's all like, oh, yeah, this team did great. Lamar Jackson looked fantastic. But when teams take L's, the quarterback should be getting just as much smoke. Because when it was in the past, y'all would be like, hey, we took an L. Harbaugh sucks. When we get a W, Lamar was fantastic. You see how that was, that system, how that usually works right there? Y'all give Lamar all the love for the dub, and Harbaugh gets no credit. But when the L's come and they start stacking, Harbaugh was on the hot seat. Harbaugh got fired. I'm not saying fire Lamar. I am saying hold him accountable just as you did Harbaugh when the L's come. Bate just wasn't targeted. Lamar needs to see the field a little better. Granted, he had horrible offensive linemen, and that was contributing to that. But what you have to see is that if it's not the first two progressions, Bates probably the third or fourth. And Lamar ain't got time to get to that because it's check one, check two. Oh crap, let me reposition because my line sucks and see if I can find a tight end. Bates not going to be in that option. Dre says, I like Jacoby, Ted Hurst, Malachi Fields. I like Fields. I like Jacoby. So we appreciate Zay Flowers. He is special. He is special. And his contract going to show that. These guys get paid right now. We're talking about by the time Zay gets his contract, y'all mark my words, Mark, write it down, whatever, take a picture, $32 million. Watch. Dre says, I agree. I believe Bateman has real potential to be a wide receiver 1. Yep. Matthew says the offensive line was not giving Lamar any time to target anybody effectively. That's true. It's so true. Like, even if you go back and watch the very last bomb that Lamar threw, not the second last bomb, the bomb to Zay, not likely, but the bomb to Flowers, both linemen collapsed. Voorhees and Bailey. They gave up. They just gave up basically it should have been a sack. Lamar wiggled his way out of that and launched a full, but it's called the launch codes in, which is like do. Whew. Boom. Bomb to Zay for a touchdown. Special talent is what Lamar has, but he needs the things around him to be successful. And Declan Doyle helping LJ, that remains to be seen. Because right now, we're looking at a guy who hasn't called plays. And what's that mean? He was in the planning meetings. He was in the coordination for the passing offense for that week. He helped all of the planning. He may have put a lot of different things together, but on Sunday, when it came to being adapted to whatever the defensive play style was, he was not there to do that. Now, we've had issues in the past from Zach Orr because he was not able to adjust to real game situations, even though he was in the planning rooms for defense for previous coordinators. Now, we're going to have that same problem. Now, what we're probably going to experience, y'all going to be a little frustrated, is we're going to have delay of game penalties because it's going to take Declan a second to adjust to his new position. He's probably going to have some creative plays, but we're talking down to the wire is when it's going to get snapped. That's going to be a problem. Probably by week 5, after they figure it out and run it through practice a few times and give him a couple of scenarios where he can play around with, we're going to see success after that. But for right now, it's going to be some bumps. So y'all get ready. Strap up. Strap in. Not strap. Unreliable Future, man. I appreciate you coming through. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, smack the bell. And, Camru is my co-host. He'll usually be on the show, but tonight I just want to do a little bit early. But if y'all want to hop on the show sometimes, of course, y'all hit me up too. We'll go ahead and pop you in for a second and let you get your time in to have your opinion. So he says, there's nothing Zay can do that Bear can't do just as good, or Bate can't do just as good. I don't care what nobody says. So Bate has abilities, and I put that together on a few tapes before, saying he has abilities like Julio Jones in the past, because when you saw the tape of his college and you saw Julio's abilities, there were some similarities. He's just got to put it all together, and Lamar's got to figure out a way to make him the guy for a few games, kind of how he did when he was, facing off against Tampa Bay. Here we go. So D says the 2022 class got a combined $298 million in combined second contracts. Fele can make it $300 million. Well, yes, they had some great picks because, Linderbaum, he got paid $27 million a year. I mean, it just, the list kept going on and on until it got to Fele. But the beast picks that the Ravens were, y'all talk about EDC couldn't cook. The 2023 class, okay, I feel you. 2022, y'all cannot deny this man. It was everything that you wanted to see in a class. It was exceptional. I mean, because here it is. Here's the breakdown. Kyle Hamilton, $100.4 million. Tyler Linderbaum, $81 million. Travis Jones, $40.5 million. Thank goodness he's still in the house. Charlie Kohler with the Chargers, $24.3 million. Jordan Stout with the Giants, $12.3 million. That's why we did not keep him, because we're not paying that much for a daggone kicker. We can go ahead and take a prisoner in the draft. And then Isaiah Likely, $40 million. That was one heck of a class, man. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 200 million or 298 million. 0.7, because they probably ain't paying that boy but $200,000 come play for him, a bag of chips, maybe 2 bags of chips because he's so damn big. Anyway, B Cam says, I lost faith in Bate, can stay healthy, had one decent year. The thing about Bate was having issues with hamstrings based on the training that they were going through, and this training that they were going through was stressing their hamstrings at the beginning of their careers. Because it was Tyreek Hill's trainer. And if you go look at Tyreek Hill's history, he was having similar issues with hamstring injuries because of the way that they ran the routes. They would come and do this like chair sit down, where they were constantly stretching the hamstrings to a point where if it's like a rubber band, eventually if you keep stretching, it ain't gonna act right. They pop their hamstring because they were constantly going into those same type of routes, those sit downs. If you're not resting properly, plus they were going like crazy. They went crazy in Arizona for days and days and days. The body needs rest. So $1.5 million for Fele. Okay. It's a very unpopular opinion, but if the Steelers PQ, I'd be okay. If the Steelers PQ, if they cut PQ, I'd be okay with bringing him back at the right price. I believe PQ belongs here. I'm an LSU guy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I was excited when LSU drafted Baltimore drafted their first ever first round pick of the LSU player, Impact Queen. Yes, can Pat Queen tackle in space? He did better with the Steelers. And he caused fumbles with the Steelers, and mainly one on Lamar, which is pretty impressive. Can he operate well next to Roquan? We've seen that. I would love to see that again. I would honestly like to see him wear the green dot. Take Roquan. Say see you later. I know that there's cap implications along with that, but his speed, along with Bucky, we got Teddy Buchanan and Pat Queen over there. Maybe we swap the roles. Maybe one of them plays in the wheel linebacker, the other plays in the Sam. Okay, cool. But make it happen. We need him here. We need middle linebackers who can ball out for us. Yeah, so he's cut. All right. So I think I had one other set of players I wanted to get into. Actually, no, it was three. I think it was three other players. Okay, here we go. Jake Galladay. So we're talking about edge, and this is before the Max Crosby trade. I was thinking about we needed an edge rusher. This guy's 6'4", 239 pounds. He's got great awareness. He's got some power and push and good vision. And he's patient. He's a heavy hitter. When you come across that middle, you're about to get laid all the way out. And he lets the game come to him. And what I mean by that is like, all right, well, you got good vision. Then you know exactly how to maneuver. Like I said, some people fight to the trash. He's just more of smoothly letting the game come to him, letting the ball carry come to him. It's not getting past him because he knows how to put himself in the right position. So I like that smartness. I like that awareness when it comes to Jake Galladay out of Cincy. Another guy, this is like I said, corner was really something I was focused on for some reason. I kept looking at tape. Keontae Scott. This is a super aggressive corner. The other guy, but we were talking about need to go ahead and call the cops on. This is another one of those. He would probably be an accessory in this crime that they're about to commit against offensive coordinators, their scheme, everything. He just there to mess stuff up. Nose for the ball. He's a nice nickel blitzer. He's caused forced fumbles, tackles for loss. I mean, just that's his knack. He's a good run defender. He's there to blow shit up. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is. Sorry, y'all, I had to go ahead and drop that one off. But he could be also seen as a strong safety. We're looking at these versatile players that we can put in more than one position because the money's is tight. The money's is tight, and we need people that can play slot, and we need people that can play safety so that Kyle Hamilton can go do his thing. All right, so here we are. We're going in. Says had a good fumble, unlikely, but LOL. I want him and Rowe together. I do want Queen and Rowe together. This would be a wonderful combination. Again, it allows Queen to go do what his thing needs to do without freaking having to have so much thought. Lisa says that the doctor won't be happy when these guys don't get their rest. Okay. That's where the new guy that we just hired can come into play and help get these guys healthy. You got to have fitness specialists and all that. Since Harv would take PQ to spite us, I think he's wanting guys who know his system. And he wants guys that's familiar with what he does. And I can't blame him. I'm pissed. But I do not blame him for wanting to go after guys who knows what he does best. So there it is, folks. You know the needs. Tight end, offensive line, middle linebacker, safety, punter, wide receiver, cornerback. And I'm glad we don't have to worry about quarterback because we got Snoop. We got Snoop back. And I know that's not saying anything significant, but you know what? He got us 2 wins against the NFC North, and that division was balling. And for him to come out and make, he was competitive. And he ran the scheme the way it should have been ran, and they ran the ball. Derrick Henry did his thing with 4 touchdowns. We got a good backup, a good insurance policy for Lamar, and we got it for cheap. Half of these backup quarterbacks, they making bank. They're making bank, and we got Huntley for cheap. Nope, I did not get a chance to check out Michael Trigg, but as soon as I turn this camera off, that will be my next up. I think we'll be doing a little bit more deep dive into the draft. I know that y'all want to see free agency stuff, but that is like the talk of the town right now, and I'm trying to get ahead a little bit. I also encourage you to watch the Locked On NFL Draft podcast. My boy Dane Parsons on there. Dude is brilliant. Gets on there every morning, and he speaks about players and their abilities, weaknesses, everything. He is just diving into tape. This is his Christmas. That's his time of year, folks. That's what he does. Anyway, so I'm excited to see y'all here. I appreciate y'all coming through a little bit early. Y'all see Brooke, tell her I love her. Hey, y'all see Cam Rude, tell him what's up. I am about to go ahead and chillax on a Monday. I hope you guys get to chill too and see a little bit more of this waiver wire craziness, or excuse me, not waiver wire, this free agency craziness. Know that we are not losers in the free agency. We are just going to be inactive for a little bit. So with that said, give me 2 claps. Fade to black. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe, smack the bell so you know it's going down. It's like I'm gonna try that again. Give me 2 claps. For some reason it didn't work that time. Fade to black.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though.